What up, y'all? It is your man dReal, alive and alert on the north side of the dirt, bringing you Be Real with dReal, where edutainment is what I do. Doing a movie review. Yeah, I know you were waiting for it, and it's here. The Batman review by your man dReal. I don't know. It might be kind of spoilery. I don't think so. I think I can describe it to you without being spoilery, not tremendously spoilery. But before I get spoilery or not spoilery, can y'all please do what you normally do for your man dReal, and that is comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with dReal page. Y'all have definitely been sharing the Be Real with dReal page. I've been getting new followers every day. Shouts out to my new followers that are here this week, that just subscribed this week. Hey, welcome to the ride. It's going to be live. But anyway, Batman review. Okay. First thing I guess I want to say is Rob Pattinson as Batman, Edward Cullen as Batman, was not a terrible Batman. Not the best Batman, in my opinion, still. But he did a decent outing without being super jacked and buffed and putting focus on all of that. He actually did a decent job of being a Batman. Fail flat on his face on the Bruce Wayne tip, because the Bruce Wayne, I can wrap myself around a smaller Bruce Wayne as far as looking at a smaller, well, not Bruce Wayne, but a smaller Batman, but a brooding, emo-y Bruce Wayne. That should be a clue and a half right there. If Batman is emo and broody and Bruce Wayne is emo and broody, come on. I thought the whole idea was to try to protect your secret identity. And the movie isn't so much a Batman movie or a superhero movie as it is a detective superhero crime drama. That's what I got out of it. It was following crimes and trying to narrow down or prevent. I mean, it was really very reminiscent of comic book Batman in the 80s, the Jim Aparo Batman, the Neil Adams Batman. It had that really detective-y kind of vibe to it, where it wasn't really about superheroing stuff and gadgets and all of that stuff. And quiet as it's kept, his gadgets were very modest. They weren't futuristic looking. They looked like some stuff you could have cobbled together or made, and it was modest but effective. I feel also, too, the movie was respectful of the cinematic Batman who came before it. I could see elements of the realism of Christopher Nolan's Batman. I could see elements of the dark, gritty Tim Burton Batman. And I could even see the toughness and the very well choreographed fighting of a Ben Affleck Batman. At least that one scene with Batman with Batfleck was decently choreographed. It even had some of the kind of loose zaniness for a second that you get out of the Batman TV show. Not the colorful campiness, mind you, but that zany nature, because there is one moment where we may or may not be looking at the Joker. I ain't gonna tell you what that moment was, but you may or may not be, just straight up. Performances, oh my God. I'm not worried about Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman anymore. She did a very decent job as Catwoman. She was a tough, gritty Catwoman, but she was also a tender, caring Catwoman. You know what I mean? And she was, you know, there was a point in the movie where she kind of got on the warpath and was trying to right some wrongs herself. And the movie is very gray. Everybody in the movie at one point is kind of skirting the line between law and lawlessness. You know, even except Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon's a paragon of justice, but there are some revelations in the movie that make Batman think, am I really doing, or is my legacy this? You know, but then we have to bear in mind, this is Batman in his second year as Batman. So from a psychological standpoint, maybe he ain't developed all of that wherewithal to be able to be a little more resistant to reality hitting him in the face, more or less. You know what I mean? And that was a lot of things. The fight scenes too, they were very unique, very well crafted visually. You know what I mean? It wasn't your typical kind of superhero movie fight scenes or crime drama movie fight scenes. It was very topsy-turvy, but at the same time, it was clean. If that, I don't know if that makes sense. Also, it's a long movie, but it didn't seem like a long movie because the story and trying to figure things out was so engaging. 2 hours and 55 minutes. It zips by too, man. Shouts out to my man, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. He was super believable, and that role was tailor-made for John Turturro. That to me was a perfectly cast role. You don't get that very often in superhero movies, but when you do, it's beautiful. John Turturro, perfect. Perfect Carmine Falcone. I enjoyed watching him on the screen because he was really, really laid back and, didn't really get too bent out of shape about stuff. When you're a big time crime gangster, ain't a whole lot you need to be bent out of shape about. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Jeffrey Wright and my man Andy Serkis as he ain't commissioner, he's Captain Gordon and Alfred respectively. I feel like they were relegated to the roles of plot devices. Gordon, Jeffrey Wright, he stayed in that sidekick role. He was basically Batman's sidekick through all of everything. Partner, whatever you want to call it, but we never explored James Gordon, is what I'm getting at. Same thing with Alfred. Alfred, I guess, is more or less supposed to be a mysterious figure, but it's like, what is it that makes Alfred tick? Why should I give a damn about Alfred? Other than plot devices, there's really not a whole lot that makes you want to give a damn about Alfred. He's just kind of there because it's Batman and Batman needs an Alfred. That's what I got out of it. His performance, it was good for what it was, but it wasn't that deep. You know what I mean? I'm like, give him something to, do. Same thing with Jeffrey Wright. He was there when he needed to be there, but other than that, we didn't really get a whole lot out of him. Another cool thing, like I said, a lot of imagery in the movie was very cool to see, very cool to look at. Batman emerging out of the shadows, that kind of a thing. Overall, the story, centers around the Riddler and their riddles. and a lot of it is very creative and again harkens back sometimes, some of it to the Frank Gorshin, Adam West Batman days when he played the Riddler. They were always kind of rousing, fun episodes, and I like that they gave the Riddler, top villain as the villain. Overall, I gave it like a 7. It's a good movie. It was an interesting movie. It was an engaging movie, but a lot of the characterization kind of fell short. Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, my man Andy Serkis. If we could have, made those roles, bolstered them a little bit, make them seem a little more Batmobile was a muscle car. Love that. Batmobile was a muscle car, and it sounded like a beast when it was muscle car. Loving that. Still a 7 though. Do you plan on going to see Batman? Have you seen Batman? Tell me about the Batman and something you liked about it. If you've seen it, tell me something you hope that was in it that may or may not be in it. And as always, I'll be coming at y'all with another one of the other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.